promises of other people doing something? Why would you promise somebody else would do something? I need someone to be in the situation when I make these calls. I need them to make the calls with me, not for me, with me. I don't need them to tell me to go to these resources. I need them to go to them with me. Because I'm intelligent. I don't need that help. Right? Well, according to everyone else, people who want to use that as an excuse, you just don't want to. Well, just because you don't want to doesn't mean crimes weren't committed against me. So this lady who's going to help me today after work, I was able to go talk to her for a couple of minutes. I'm too broke to buy anything in there, and I don't want to get in trouble for loitering, so I made it quick. Also went and picked some blackberries for dinner. I don't have any juice. I was able to get a little bit of water, so I poured some water in with my blackberries. Gonna make a blackberry tea, sort of. So, a lot of people keep telling me go to this place and go to that place. You can tell me 1,000 times. Show me where it's at so I know where it's at. Show me where it's at. If I get lost or there's another issue with my MapQuest and I get lost and I can't make it to the appointment, I need help to make sure that I get it to the appointment. I need help just for that simple part right there. I need help. The mentally ill tag deprives you of the right to do things for yourself. It also deprives you of the resources to do anything for yourself. And then you're forced to depend on other people who are not dependable. And sure, they may intend well, they may mean well, but they're not dependable. There's all these people who are paid to do these jobs that aren't doing the jobs they're paid for. And then I got to rely on homeless people for that help. And those homeless people aren't going to go in and help me turn in a police report. I haven't seen Logan and Shayna in a few days. They had some issues here in town, so they were discussing leaving. I know last time they left, they didn't actually leave. They stayed here in town. They just moved somewhere where they were less likely to get fucked with by the cops. They moved over by the sewer plant, where it smells like shit all the time, in the hopes that the cops wouldn't fuck with them there. On the bright side, I have my dinner tea. It's not very good. There were some of them that were a little bit too green to be eating, but whatever. I picked them anyway because they look big enough. I don't see any bugs floating on top. Oh my god, that's nasty. That is... It might be okay cold, but it's nasty as it is. Anyway, this referral place is called Bridges to Health Pathways, the Dalles, Oregon. So it's an hour's drive away and an hour back in order to go see these people. So I don't know where all of the services are. It's not that I don't ask. It's not that I don't run around and try to locate them. I've located a few of them. Most of those people don't do what it is that people say that they do. Fuck it. I can't take care of myself. Not financially, not physically, not mentally. I cannot take care of myself. Let alone defend myself against these predators. I couldn't defend myself against these predators all the way back in 2015 when this shit first started. When I was first made so gimpy that I couldn't even travel a block. That's when this all started for me. It's not that the Boulder Police Department never harassed me before that. It's that when I was no longer able to defend myself, that's when they pounced. I went to my friends about it, and they pushed me to the point of suicide. Natalie Bollinger rescued me from that. Natalie Bollinger and Maddie Boa rescued me from that. Natalie and Alicia both thought they was in love with me, and both of them had arguments over that shit. Did Alicia Bollinger ever tell me she thought she was in love with me? No, but the way that she fought with her sister for my attention. If Alicia was all afraid of me harming her or her sister, why is it that every opportunity that she got, she invited me to come see her in Virginia, asked me to come have lunch with her, told me to come hang out for her cigarette breaks? Is this something you do with somebody who's stalking you? Is this something you do with someone who's stalking your sister? How about my birthday? Do you insist on going to Elliot's Coffee Grounds on your stalker's birthday? Does that sound like something that is intelligent? I'm pissed off and I scream at the top of my lungs because people aren't listening. They're not looking at the evidence. They're not even trying. Also, these people who refuse to help me because they got their own problems. You know what? They forgot what it is that I did for them when they had their own problems before Natalie died. They forgot who I was and what I did for them. And that if they had told the truth, I could be there for them today to help them with those problems too. Some of them. When I hurt my back and was no longer able to play superhero for every woman with a sob story, nobody cared about me anymore. By the way, I didn't just help females with their sob stories. Christopher Weaver, 4 months of my life I gave to that man for empty promises that he never fulfilled. And then he treated me like shit for it because he didn't keep his word. Now, I understand he got his daughter taken because of his ex. But that doesn't make it right for him to lie to me, for him to take advantage of me, for me to waste away down to nothing because he wasn't taking care of me. He was just taking advantage of me. And I can't turn none of these guys in. You know what? Even though Natalie Bollinger had just died, Mandy Singer was still trying to find her son, and I still tried. I didn't get to use Natalie Bollinger's death as an excuse. I did the right thing because it was the right thing to do. Well, there's people who promised to help me, who are a part of this situation, who lost a family member years ago. Their advice to me is to get over it. They can't get over it, but they expect me to. Meanwhile, all these people have support in person. All these people have a real roof over their heads. A real roof over their heads. People tell me it's my fault that I don't have low income and can't get into low income. No, it's not. It's not my fault that everyone ignored the crimes against me and blew me off and gave me empty promises for years. And it's not my fault that after years of people giving me empty promises, that Cindy Taylor and her boss were able to victimize me and others repeatedly. Anyway, so I might get a call back and I might not. I take no stock in promises, especially promises of somebody else doing something. I can't. So I have to find somebody else to help and try to find another number to call. I can hope that this person's going to call, but I can't just leave my eggs in one basket. There are too many times where people don't keep their word, they don't follow through, or they made a promise for somebody else and they didn't know. Well, that's why it would have been nice to share the right information, to spend 5 minutes finding out what was going on before making calls for me instead of making them with me. I also understand that this is their personal coordinator. So I don't want to mess things up for them. I also can't just hurry up and wait. There's a deadline. It's almost up. I've been through 6 years of abuse. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, when's somebody gonna look at the fucking evidence instead of allow my predators to victimize me out of it? Instead of allowing my predators to force me into a situation where I literally have to light a fire or threaten my predators back in order to get a fucking court date. All right, I went for a walk and I got this. It says Bridges to Change. It was in a bag, that bag of food I was looking at earlier. I'm exhausted as shit and I'm overwhelmed and I'm scared shitless. I have to be afraid to go to the police for good reason. So treat all homeless people like we're trash, just like you do. Now this card that I got says Bridges to Change. Let's see, what's this piece of paper here? Bridges to Health Pathways. So these are two different places. This one says Mentors, Housing, Treatment, Job Development. Treatment usually means drug and alcohol treatment, but not always. Looks like they're in the same town, though. I made this YouTube channel to get help for all the victims, myself included. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm not a victim just because it doesn't suit your wants, just because it doesn't suit your rhetoric, just because it doesn't suit the lies you're trying to sell. I don't owe it to you to do that. Let's take some of this stuff here because hopefully it's better tasting than the blackberry tea. Fruit mix, and it's got a pull tab on the top so I can actually open it up and eat it. We got some crackers that are already opened, so we'll set them to the side because whoever they gave the bag to obviously ate a couple of crackers. 2 things of unsweetened applesauce, some spaghetti and meatballs, Chef Boyardee, another fruit mix, oats and honey thing. I can't eat these because I don't have any teeth. We have 2 juices here. One looks like orange, the other looks like apple. Let's see. This one's 1% low-fat milk. And this one is orange tangerine. So I was close on both of them. And then there's a jar of peanut butter. So I got some food. Ground score. Don't remember what this video is even about. Anyway, forcing the homeless to do these things for the homeless when we're paying people to do these jobs is not okay. That lady who's out here who's homeless, who gets $75 for going to the meetings for a few hours, well, she does more than a few hours worth of work. More than a few hours worth of work every day. So she's doing all this work to advocate she's not getting paid for. That ain't right. And we're forced to go to people that they got their own problems. Well, just because you got your own problems, does that make it okay? No, it doesn't. Holy shit, that's nasty. Oh my God. Ugh. Anyway, I got some food. The food, that's part of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That makes it so that I'm able to work on what I need next. Maybe I'll call this Bridges to whatever place, but any of these places that I call, I have to have someone call with me. No matter what. I'm a male. That's going to get me blown off unless someone is there to verify. Unless someone is there to explain the situation. The lady in there, she's not able to help me beyond that. So hopefully that place calls me back. But like I said, there's been plenty of people that made promises and didn't follow through. And then there's plenty of people who made promises for others. So please don't. Understand that you, being a female, and getting their help is a far cry different than me being a male and getting their help. It is expected that a male should be able to magic away any and all disabilities and ill feelings and sad emotions. He should be able to snap his fingers and make them go away immediately. You expect men to act like sociopaths until you want them to be angry. And then you expect them to get violent on your behalf. So many people do this. It's horrible. Women are very prone to this because women are prone to society expecting us to fall for their manipulations. Society expecting us to believe them because of their genitalia. Or society expecting us to go above and beyond to make sure that an innocent person is harmed. Well, I didn't create the society that did this. When it comes to sexual offenses, we need to actually do something about the sexual predators instead of making it so that they have special protections. I mean, Jesus Christ, you rape a 3-year-old and all of a sudden it's a hate crime to beat the shit out of you? What do you guys think? If somebody rapes a 3-year-old, should it be legal to beat the shit out of them? Best reaction all week. That seems to be what most of America thinks, though. Now, honestly, if you're attacked by a child molester, you should have the right to beat him piss fucking limber. Even if he's not a child molester, you should have the right to beat him piss limber. Nobody should be allowed to put their nasty cock beaters on you without retaliation. Called mentally ill, however, you just have to take the abuse. And even if you just take it, even if you don't even try to fight back, even if you make literally zero effort to fight back, chances are pretty good your ass is going to jail. For me, pissing off the police, I didn't piss off the police. I told the truth about them. They didn't fucking like it. So they abused their power in order to hide the fact that they didn't do their fucking jobs, and it got people killed. People, not just a person. You guys keep wanting to focus on just Natalie Marie Bollinger. Natalie Bollinger wasn't even the first person that was dead over this. Are you fucking kidding me? Why do you think it was such a big major deal to me? Dead lighter. There's another one over here. I'm gonna grab it too. Much of the problem I have is that a lot of people in their positions, you know, maybe those things do help, but they also have all the things that I need. They have family who cares, family who's there. I got women who will speak up for them. That's right, women, that's a pretty important thing, because that's what the United States cares about. What did the women say? What did the women say? What do the women say? Oh, me too, me too, me too. Me too doesn't include male victims, though, does it? Especially adult male victims. Me too wants to sell the rhetoric that men are the problem. No. You got plenty of opportunities to date a man who ain't a douchebag. You're attracted to douchebags. That's not men's fault, that's yours. If you got 10 men who ask you out and you say yes to the douchebag, well, it's your fault that you're dating a douchebag. Oh, and then you want to complain that there's no good men left in the dating pool. There's no good women in the dating pool either. I don't date. I'm not interested. It's not about dating. It's about doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I've had so many people stab me in the back over a piece of nookie in the last 6 years. It's not that it never happened before that, but holy hell, Stephanie Mejia was going to help me. Juan Santana did help me. And of course, Ventus Kosai was going to help me. Now, why didn't Ventus or Stephanie Mejia actually do that, despite the resources that I had spent to get there and to do those things, and to get them there so that they could do those things, so they could help me how they offered? Well, instead of helping me how they offered and how I spent massive quantities of money on getting them there so that they could, they were more interested in doing drugs and having sex. Oh yeah, and treating Juan Santana like shit despite the fact that he was the only one actually doing any work. He was the only one actually trying. Alright. Well, it looks like I found... Oh, there's another one. Alright, I think I got enough snipes to roll a tobacco, so that's what I'm gonna go do. Much of the problem is people have assumptions. Before they can help me, they have to find out what's going on, which means they have to drop their assumptions. And the longer things go along where they're just dragging their feet, the more bad assumptions that they get, and I can't explain it in typing. They gotta fucking call me and take the time to shut up and listen. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. When you're only able to get half the sentence out before people are fucking interrupting you and taking your words out of context, what the fuck are you supposed to do? How are you gonna remedy that situation? How are these people gonna help you if they're not willing to even fucking listen? How are they going to help you if they're busy talking about themselves? They shouldn't have offered if they weren't willing to keep their word. They should not have had me waste the resources if they weren't going to keep their word. Why drive all the way to Colorado to help somebody when all you're going to do is ignore the situation to have sex? No follow through. A lot of people like to tell me how it is, how the law works. I'm like, all right, we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples of you being wrong just in recent case law. So, yeah, go ahead and spout your ignorance, but maybe you should look it up. Now, why do people do that pocket lawyer thing? It's because they fucked up, or because they don't want to actually try. Like Shannon Alvarado claiming that she couldn't turn it in because she was all the way in California. No, you can. Kara Johnson Miles was all the way in Texas. She was allowed to slander me in court. And of course, that was because you did nothing to help protect me from that woman. To show the evidence that you collected of what she was doing, Shannon Alvarado. That's not my fault that you made no effort. If you're going to claim that you tried to help me, well, then maybe you should speak up and actually try to help me. Actually try. Actually try turning in that evidence. Actually try writing a police report. Actually try calling those things in with me instead of getting fucking drunk or telling me that I can't even make the calls myself because you don't want any calls made during the day because your daughter making sounds might get her taken away and have people think that you're thinking that you're abusing her. Well, you are abusing her, Shannon Alvarado. No, you don't abuse your daughter physically, but you abuse the shit out of your daughter mentally. Your daughter knows that you're blaming her for shit that she can't defend herself against. What, you expect her to be fucking happy? You expect your daughter to be happy with you doing that? With every choice that you make, every decision that you make that is fucked up because you're an alcoholic, you're going to take it out on an autistic girl who can't defend herself. Can't even speak up for herself. Yes, that is fucking abuse. The fact that that girl is a grown-ass adult who still can't speak for herself. And Shannon Alvarado still continues to blame her daughter for Shannon's choices. These were Shannon's choices, Shannon's decisions, and Shannon's empty promises. A lot of people made those empty promises. Maybe you meant it. Ooh, 22 long rifle, 40 grain, high velocity, lead round. Cool. There's no bullets in it, but cool box. In case you didn't know, 22 long rifle is my favorite round. It's because it's cheap, it's easy, you can carry a lot of it. And of course, it'll do the job. You know, you put a 45 through somebody's head, or a 22 through somebody's head, they're going to end up the same way in the end. If you put a 45 through dinner, you might explode your dinner. I've seen a rabbit and a squirrel get shot with a hollow point. Not a hollow point 22, but a hollow point 44. And yeah, there's not much left to eat. You got to go pick up separate pieces out of wherever it happened to land. A 22 will go clean through. Alright, so this ain't about 22 long rifles though, is it? This ain't about home defense, because I don't have a home. This is about the fact that we've got all these services that we're paying that are supposed to help people like me. And what are we paying them to do? We're paying them to victimize people like me. It is victimization because you're paying them to do these things. You are paying them to do jobs that they're not performing. Meanwhile, I'm not allowed to turn in my predators. They can lie at me whenever they want and then claim that I'm making it up. Claim that I'm mentally ill and pretend like that means I must be schizophrenic. This is not fucking okay. Just because these people didn't fucking care doesn't mean that I didn't tell the truth. Just because you don't want to look doesn't mean that it's okay to do these things to me. And just because you pretend it didn't happen doesn't mean it's not against the law. You pretending that something didn't happen that I already recorded and posted on YouTube shows you to be a special kind of fucking stupid. And the fact that you were forewarned did not choose to heed that warning, that is your decision. If you were really threatened, you goddamn right. I am on your side. I will speak out. I'm going to speak out. If I find out later that you lied to me, well, you took advantage of me. If you lied to me, you intentionally took advantage of me, and that is not okay. I am an at-risk adult who is not allowed to defend himself or protect himself. So for you, going out of your way to create a situation where I will be harmed because you're too much of a coward to tell the truth, now you want to play stupid and you want to play victim because I posted up conversations with you that show that, yes, from day one, I was telling the truth. And then there's the ones who want to pretend like, oh, well, Sean, I was doing you a big favor by not telling the truth. Really? Because the things that you threw in my face as if I was a bad person. Well, those are the things I needed you to admit to because I'd already admitted to that shit. Yes, I already admitted that I didn't get to go see Ed Simmons when I went on that trip to Virginia to see Natalie. I didn't get to go see Sage Wayward Rages. I didn't get to see Brett Roloff. I didn't get to see none of those people. And I didn't get to see Amanda DeMette. These are all the people I had planned on going to see. Why didn't I have the money to go see them all? Because I went up to Rapid City, South Dakota to rescue Jamie Curtis. To help her move out of James Payton's house. So I didn't have enough money. It was a matter of triage. I had 2 people to rescue in Virginia. And I went and I rescued them. Now there's also Mahalia Jean-Pierre. There's all these people that were involved in the situation. And their involvement shows that I told the truth every step of the way. But they don't care. They want to hide like rats. Each and every one of these people showed me their true colors. I need help. I need someone to actually listen to me and help me to make these calls, not to make one call and then I have to wait 6 weeks, 8 months, 8 years. What, they're finally gonna fucking call me when? When everything's stolen? When I've been trumped up on charges? When I literally have to light a fucking fire? when someone else ends up dead? No, none of those things should be necessary. I am an at-risk adult. Turning in my crimes should be as simple as calling my guardian and saying, hey, I'm being victimized. Police have already shown a complete and total disdain nationwide for the disabled and the homeless. The body counts show that. The media holds the same disdain. The fact that they're ignoring us shows that, proves that. You know, those people who try to put something together as homeless folks so that they and a few others can at least have a safe place. But we're constantly harassed and told to move and told to move and told to move. And then we get all these tweakers and meth addicts and fucking alcoholics dumped on us. We'll go down, they'll help you, they'll help you, they'll help you. I don't want to fucking help you. I want you as far away from me as possible. You're a meth addict. You'll probably steal my shit. You're an alcoholic. You'll probably steal my shit. I mean probably, because you probably will. That doesn't mean that sober people won't get desperate and do the same thing. But it's the tweakers that make it bad for all of us out here. It's the tweakers and the chimos that you dump on our community that you use as an excuse to ignore the victims within our community. It is those predators that you dump off on our community that you use as an excuse to victimize our community and take our things and deny us our rights. I'm not Ronald Reagan. I'm not responsible for all of these people dumped on the streets. I'm not the COVID-19 planners who chose to let a bunch of child molesters out, but chose to lock me up on bogus charges that they already knew were bogus. Clearview has been closed down, and they still held on to the charges even after Clearview was closed down for doing the things that I claimed that they did. They did those things to other people. And as a result, the state of Colorado closed them down, but yet they did not drop the charges, and they still prevented me from turning in my predators. They prevented me from having the money to even take care of myself, let alone jump through their hoops by pressing false charges on me, and they have done this repeatedly. And I have to go to junkies for help. I have to go to meth addicts and drug addicts. I got to go to heroin addicts and alcoholics for help. Of course, these people offered to help. Brett Roloff, yep, offered to help, but didn't, because he was strung out on meth. And I was stuck in that volatile environment because I'm autistic. Because the only person who would help me, because you want to pretend I'm schizophrenic because you don't want to understand autism, you want to live by mythology. Mythology from the 1980s and earlier as your excuse, as your validation for the crimes that you committed against me. This is not fucking okay. All of this because I didn't ever have anyone in my corner who cared. A guardian is supposed to take care of all of these things. That's what a guardian is for. But these professionals that I went to for help with this wanted to try to convince me not to get a guardian, not to have a guardian. They also wanted to convince me that it's not their job to coordinate or to work together or to help me to get these things in court, and it absolutely is. But I need help to turn these things in. I need someone to make the calls with me. so that I'm not blown off. To this day, I haven't had that. To this day. Now, there was one person who sort of tried, but I had to blackmail her into doing her job by saying, hey, I recorded our conversations. You got to either come forward about this or I got to come forward about it. I'm the one taking the abuse. So you got two choices here. You can either get off your fat, lazy ass and do your goddamn job, or I can show that you didn't do your goddamn job. It is your responsibility to inform the police that it's not your job to police the police. If you're an advocate and these people are claiming that you are to do things that you are not to do, you need to come forward about that. If I'm being victimized because you won't open your mouth and tell the truth, you do not get to play victim. If you were victimized by the police and you're going to use that as an excuse why you didn't keep your word, you do not get to pretend that I victimized you by telling the truth or by speaking out about the situation. If you're going to tell me that you didn't help me because you were threatened, harassed, and intimidated by fucking cops in Haxton, Colorado, then goddamn it, I'm going to speak out. By the way, speaking of that situation, Candace Bondurant is the worst friend I've ever had. You cannot have a worse friend than Candace Bondurant. She did everything that she could to lie about me, lie to me, and slander my fucking name in order to cut me off from any and all assistance that I had when it would have made a difference. And Candace Bondurant did that knowingly, willingly, and maliciously. She did it with malicious intent. She was angry with me for telling the truth and for telling it publicly. Well, she had her chance to tell the truth instead of victimize me. Maybe she should have fucking thought about that. But then when she does wrong things to me, she wants to post up that I cursed at her. Oh, God, no. I cursed. Fuck you, Candace. Well, you wanted to pretend like you were going to get thrown out in the January snow. Your bitch ass knows, first of all, that your mama would take you in. And your kids. Oh, it would be an imposition, huh? Well, guess what? You should have thought about that before you fucking went out of your way to say things like, oh, I could handle it. I could handle it. Well, you couldn't handle it. Could you, bitch? No, you laid down and took it like a bitch and allowed me to be fucking victimized. If those people really threatened you the way that you claim they did, you need to come forward about it. If you intentionally misled the situation resulting in all of this, you chose to do wrong things. You chose to intentionally mislead the situation after promising that you were going to help me. You chose to intentionally mislead the situation, resulting in 6 years of abuse, resulting in me being cut off from getting help when I needed it the most, when it would have made a difference. These people who, it was a mutual thing, where I did my end of the bargain, where I helped other people with their shit, and they literally never even tried to help me. Shannon Alvarado never tried to help me. She just lied out her ass and promised she was gonna. Oh, if you come here to California, I got to California, and what happened? She was too fucking drunk to keep her goddamn word. Every night she was like, oh yeah, well, later tonight after my daughter goes to bed. Well, that's not going to happen because you're going to start drinking at 6 o'clock and you're going to scream until 4 o'clock in the morning. But I was stuck in that environment. Once I was there, I didn't have the money to leave, and I had to wait on the evidence to get there that Graham just never sent. Took him 6 goddamn weeks to send it. That whole time, I'm stuck at Shannon Alvarado's listening to her volatile fucking drunken bullshit. And then you blame me. You say that it's my fault that I chose it. It's my fault that my stuff got stolen. It's my fault that I was forced into these situations. It's my fault. It's my fault. No, it's all of your fault. All of yours. None of this is my fault. And I will tell you why. Because I am the only one who actually tried. The only one who actually put an effort towards turning this shit into the fucking cops. And that includes your words. If you had actually tried to turn these things in with me, they would have never ended up on the fucking internet for God and everybody to see. What a loose-minded, loose-moraled piece of fucking backstabbing trash that you are. You knew that I didn't have the money to keep on wasting on false hope and fake help. All of these people took advantage of me, and it's fine because I'm autistic, so it must be okay. Hello. Autism, in your mind, is mental retardation. Autism, in your mind, is mythology. It's mythology. It's not fact. It's ancient mythology. The mythology that you're throwing in my face is an excuse why I wanted, needed, and chose and deserved this is mythology that is over 30 years past its goddamn prime. Found me a good cigarette. You. The way that the homeless are treated by police is not mythology. You guys dumping all your child molesters on us and giving our predators protection. That is not okay. We got half the homeless people who are victimized to the point that they're homeless. They're raped, they're beaten, they're abused for being different. And then you drop off our predators in our community. You will not allow us to be a part of your society. And then you dump child molesters and rapists on our community and a bunch of fucking nut jobs that need actual help, and then you treat us like we're all predators. Like we're all child molesters. No, most of us growing up were victimized by those fucking child molesters. No, we don't want them on the streets, and it is fucking evil for you to treat us like we're those people. There's a man in this town named Dean. Dean doesn't know what the hell is going on most of the fucking time. He should be somewhere where he is protected instead of being victimized by the cops here. They victimized him out of all of his stuff. I mean, come on now. This guy is a human being who cannot take care of himself. And instead of assisting him into a situation where he can take care of himself, they take away every little thing that he has in life that keeps him protected. Now, I want you to look at this area. Every other day I go through and I clean all this up. Now, some of this is homeless trash. That's trash from homeless people. That's trash from homeless people. Most of this is trash from homeless people. But in a couple of days, the stuff that's going to blow in here, that's not all from homeless people. That stuff's not all from homeless people. This is all stuff that just blows over the edge. People toss their Kleenexes, they toss their cups, they toss every damn thing. And of course, these weeds here catch all of it. So you got all sorts of trash, and it all comes down through that little opening there and fills all this stuff up. So, of course, we got a bunch of nasty sick shits who don't clean up their own garbage, and then who gets blamed for it? Yes, it must be the homeless people's fault that there's trash everywhere. You don't use your fucking brains. And then you want to use the term mentally ill. Mentally ill is not a diagnosis. That's slander anytime that you use it. The term mentally ill is used only to discredit people to pretend like they're violent schizophrenics who are delusional. And what's the reality of the situation? The reality of the situation is of the 509 diagnoses in the DSM-5, very few of them are schizophrenia. Autism and PTSD are both in the DSM-5. One moment. Sorry for being rude. The wind came up and it makes it difficult to speak. Or to get heard, I guess. Now the wind's dying down a little bit, so I don't have to be as loud. But here's the thing, if nobody cares, then it's magically legal. Is it magically legal? No, it's still illegal. These crimes that they committed against me and the reputation that they created for me, as well as the things that they forced me to do, those things can all still be shown. Especially since there is such a massive quantity and volume of abuse that I've had to endure, as well as all of the carcasses rotting away as a result of this. There are unintended consequences. Absolutely. Many of the people who were promising to help me became my predators because they got free shit. Christine Bouhit allowed me to have that Facebook page so that while these people were trying to destroy evidence, at least I could still speak out and still show the truth. But guess what? When Christine Bouhit was given housing, to call that away through a tantrum, destroyed evidence, and thought it was okay. Thought I should be fine with it. I'm not fine with it. And then with TJ and Mike getting a hold of me, threatening me and harassing me. Well, fuck it. Then again, does my older brother care? No, he cares to listen to the people who got the drugs, which is probably TJ. Who gave Christine her heroin? It was probably TJ. Who gave Christine her meth? That was George Helmstetter. This channel isn't for your entertainment. It's to try to get help. 6 years of trying to get help. 6 years of showing what it's really like when you're a disabled homeless male. 6 years of showing you how you are treated versus us. When a male victim tries to come forward, he is victimized further. And nobody cares. Nobody cares, nobody cares. Nobody cares enough to at least speak up. Sean, call this place, call that place. Oh, we'll have to wait a week. This is the only thing I'm willing to try is to call this place and we'll have to wait a week or more. No. I need help now. And I need someone to make the calls with me. If I make them alone, nothing will happen. That's how they screen people. If it's just you, especially if you're a male, they screen you out. They're not going to help you. You're not a priority. You're not human. You don't matter. I'm going to make a video after this. Name all my meth buddies. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.